In 1993, in a county just big enough to have one Walmart and 3 high schools, a 32-year-old mother of 2 named Denise Keller left her night shift at the county hospital. She never made it home. Her car was found the next morning in the hospital parking lot, keys in the ignition, purse on the passenger seat. Her body was found 3 days later, in a drainage culvert 7 miles away. The case went cold in under a year. No witnesses. No DNA match in the system. No forced entry. The file gathered dust for 30 years. Fast forward to 2022. A freshman at the local high school, 14-year-old Maya Chen, picks unsolved crimes in our county for her history fair project. Not because she wants to be a cop. Because she likes puzzles. She starts where anyone would. Newspaper archives at the public library. Microfiche from 1993. She prints the original articles. She notices something on page 3 of the second article that no one ever followed up on. The initial police report said Denise was last seen leaving the hospital at 11:47 p.m. The security log, which Maya found in a scanned PDF of the civil lawsuit the family filed, showed her badge was swiped out at 11:42 p.m. 5 minutes doesn't sound like much until you realize the walk from the ICU to the parking lot takes 90 seconds. Where was she for 3.5 minutes? Maya keeps digging. She pulls court documents from the county clerk's free portal. She finds the autopsy summary. She finds the original witness statements. One name keeps popping up in the margins, not as a suspect, but as the person who found the car. A hospital maintenance worker named Thomas Rourke. Age 43 in 1993. He told police he was doing his rounds and noticed the car with the lights on. Maya builds a timeline in Google Sheets. She color codes it. She notices Rourke's shift ended at 11:30 p.m. that night, according to payroll records she found in a separate wrongful termination suit he filed in 1995. He shouldn't have been there at 11:47. She doesn't have DNA. She doesn't have a badge. What she has is the internet. She uploads the publicly available details of the case to a genealogy forum, not the DNA, just the family trees of people mentioned in the articles. She starts building out Rourke's family using an Ancestry.com free trial, family search, and obituaries. Then, she reads about investigative genetic genealogy. The same technique that caught the Golden State Killer in 2018. The same method C.C. Moore and Parabon Nanolabs have used to solve over 100 cold cases by uploading crime scene DNA to public databases like GEDmatch. Maya doesn't have the crime scene DNA, but she has an idea. She emails the detective currently assigned to the cold case unit. Detective Mark Ellis. Subject line, Denise Keller 1993, possible timeline error. He replies 3 days later, thanks for your interest. We appreciate citizen tips. Case remains under review. Translation deleted. Maya doesn't stop. She spends the next 4 months building a 47-page document. Not a school report with clip art. A real brief. Title page, table of contents, scanned newspaper clippings, highlighted payroll records, a full family tree of Thomas Rourke going back 4 generations. And a 5-page section titled Why Genetic Genealogy Could Confirm or Eliminate. She sends it again, this time to the entire cold case unit email, with a CC to the chief. This time, someone opens the attachment. Detective Ellis later said in an interview, I thought it was fan mail from a kid. Then I got to page 12 and realized she'd found a payroll discrepancy we missed in 1994. The department had the original crime scene DNA. It had never hit Cody's. In 2021, the state lab had uploaded it to GEDmatch under the new rules for cold cases. It had produced a list of distant cousin matches, third and fourth cousins, but no one had the time to build the trees out. They had 47 open cold cases and 2 analysts. Maya had already built half the tree. Working with a forensic genealogist from the state lab, Maya's research narrowed the match cluster to 1 family line in the county. One surname. Rourke. One man who fit the age, the location, the employment. Thomas Rourke. Now 73 years old. Still living in the same county, 4 miles from where Denise's body was found. Still mowing his lawn every Saturday. Police couldn't arrest on a family tree. They needed his DNA. They followed him for 3 days. On a Tuesday morning, he stopped at the same gas station he always did. Bought a coffee. Threw the cup in the trash outside. A plainclothes officer retrieved it. The lab ran it. It was a direct match to the semen sample preserved from Denise's clothing in 1993. They brought him in. Detective Ellis laid Maya's 47-page report on the table, open to page 31, the timeline. He read it out loud. Rourke listened for 11 minutes, then asked for water. Then he said, "I didn't think anyone would ever look again. I thought I'd die before you figured it out." He confessed. He said he'd offered Denise a ride to her car because it was raining. She said no. He followed her. He'd been drinking. It wasn't planned, he said. He'd lived with it for 30 years, gone to church, coached Little League, never told his wife. He was arrested, charged with first-degree murder. At sentencing, Denise's daughter, now 38, stood up and did something unusual. She didn't address the judge first. She turned to the gallery, where Maya was sitting with her parents, and said, "We waited 30 years for an adult to do this. A 14-year-old girl did it for a school project. Thank you for giving my mom her name back." Maya broke down. The courtroom video shows her hiding her face in her mother's shoulder. Today, Maya is 16. She's studying forensic science through a dual enrollment program. The state cold case unit has formally consulted her, unpaid, on 2 other cases from the 1990s. She still builds family trees for fun. This isn't a one-off miracle. This is the new reality of cold cases. When Parabon Nanolabs started offering genetic genealogy in 2018, they solved over 100 cases in 5 years using public databases. When Eric Schubert, an 18-year-old from New Jersey, emailed Pennsylvania State Police in 2020 offering free genealogy help, they thought he looked like a child. He ended up solving the 1964 murder of 9-year-old Maurice Chivarella by building trees from DNA uploaded to GEDmatch and Family Tree DNA, leading to the exhumation and identification of James Paul Forte nearly 60 years later. The tools are public. The records are online. The only thing missing for 30 years was someone with enough time and curiosity to connect the dots. Maya didn't solve this because she was smarter than detectives. She solved it because she wasn't told it was impossible. She didn't know you're supposed to give up after 30 years. So here's the question: how many other cases are sitting in a box right now, waiting for a teenager with a laptop and a history fair deadline? And if you're watching this, what puzzle are you ignoring because someone told you you're too young to solve it? If you want to uncover more dark truths and hidden histories, subscribe to FrameTale HQ, hit the notification bell, and leave your thoughts on this story in the comments below. Until next time, keep searching for the truth.